feel comfortable with it, we can talk about coming out and
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
That's the best part of this story,
Yeah,
right?
I agree,
The best
for sure,
part, right?
yeah.
Hers is better than mine.
So how would you character the relationship with your blood family?
Good, strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong. I think when I came out, and I know the exact day, it was August 1st,
Yeah.
2004. I had already been dating my first girlfriend from in high school. God, for maybe a few months at this point, probably about 6 months.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a conversation. My mom was leaving for Connecticut to go see my aunt. God, I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was out on the porch with my dad chatting, and I was like, well, I got something to tell you. Like, it was time. I graduated high school. I'm moving on from this. It's time that you should know. And he kind of chuckled at me. He's like, kiddo, we've been talking about this since you were 5. We've known. We just wanted you to come to us.
Yeah.
He's like, but you see, you're 18. We haven't done anything different. We haven't loved you any less. We haven't treated you any different. We've just let you be you. And that's the way it needed to be. So I appreciate my parents. I feel very lucky, very fortunate that I've had a very loving family. You know, my sister and brother were all weird about it, their kids. You know, it was what it was. Older brother, younger sister. More my younger sister weird about it than my brother. He was already in the military and shipped off, not even home anymore. But I think that's something that wasn't unexpected, but it was just like, I have a gay sister. Oh, weird. And, you know, but now, my sister, my brother-in-law, like, we love each other. You know, it's just a lot of love. It's really no different around the board. I think I consider myself very lucky for that. So, very loving. Her family, extremely loving. Like,
It took a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Mine was opposite.
How
It wasn't
so?
like horrible, but it was a late life bloomer. I probably didn't realize until I was like 25. And there was somebody, and I still have no idea to this day who did it, but made a fake Facebook profile and then sent a message and outed me to my mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she wasn't super happy about it. Neither one of my parents have ever, like, been mad, but it definitely is still, at times,
awkward.
They love us. They realize nothing's changing.
Like, if we were, like, holding hands or, like, making faces or giving kisses, they'd be like, all right, enough. Like, it makes
More
them
my
uncomfortable.
mom. More my
Her
mother than
mom,
my dad,
yeah.
yeah.
Makes them kind of uncomfortable, and that's fine. I'm not here to make anybody feel uncomfortable by any means, but more your mom than your dad.
Yeah, and then
sure.
I really don't have a choice because my sister's also gay, so.
Well, I don't think Casey's gay. I just think her sister was in a long relationship with this guy, had a child, and it was a terrible breakup.
Her and Jay are still going pretty strong.
Well, and I think she just switched sides a little bit, just for a minute, maybe just to try it. I don't know. I don't really know about that relationship. Never really sat down and chatted with her sister about it, but
Jay's also one of my best friends, so that was kind of awkward at first. I was like, this is going to be weird if you guys break up.
Yeah.
But they've been together now a year.
Okay.
They're both doing really good personally. Like she said, my sister came from a pretty bad breakup, but we both are super proud of her because she works hard every day. She takes care of my niece.
she focused on herself a lot after. She lost a lot of weight and started taking care of herself, and just her mentality definitely changed for sure after that. But this isn't about your sister, so.
But most of my family, like I have 2 older half siblings, and apparently they already knew, and they were taking bets to see how long it would take for me to find out.
Really?
Yeah, because when I told my older sister, she's like, your brother owes me $20, and I was like, what? I would say it was probably about 50-50. Half my family was like, they knew, and they weren't surprised. The other ones were like, oh, okay. But nothing like super negative. It's just, maybe it's because it wasn't as early in my life for them to like get used to it. It was my mid-20s, so now early 30s is now everyone's like, okay.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely not some horror stories like some horror kids have, so
Yeah.
I consider myself lucky that way.
Yep.
A bit more into that. So when were you first aware of your sexual identity? And how did that happen?
Young. I was young. second, third grade?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. When I was, second, third grade, that brought me to how old? 7, 8 years old, maybe? I was fully aware. I was like, I knew it was different. I knew something was different. I know at that age, you're not learning about straight gay. You're not learning about any of that. You just know something was off. Something was different. And I went through a good amount of like depression around like 4th and 5th grade because I'm like, what do I do with it? Like I knew it was like not right. I knew it was kind of setting me apart because I tried to have boyfriends, but it was like you don't really know how to act with them. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to sound like a whore, but I had a lot of boyfriends. I've never had sex with them, but I had a lot of boyfriends, and none of them was ever right. None of them ever like, you're missing something, something's missing. You know,
They had something extra is what it was.
or something extra, yes. But it was just not. It just wasn't right. I know it's funny. It just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? So I was probably, excuse me, 2nd, 3rd grade when I started having like little crushes on some of the girls in class, and I was like, she's really pretty today. And then you just sit there and you're staring at them for a minute. You're like, damn, like so. I was aware very early in life for sure.
I was not. No, honestly, it's, you know what? And I went through high school and college. Like I said, a lot of gay friends. I hung out with the pride group when I went to actually both colleges. I started at a community college and then finished my last 2 years at Buffalo State. And there's a bunch of us, and so that lifestyle never seemed weird to me. But it was also like I had not met anybody that. Well, I guess it was also like super busy. Like I was always doing something. So like dating. Honestly, my first like boyfriend that lasted longer than 2 months, like in high school. I was like 20, 21. So I don't know. Relationships were never really like something I thought about. I was like, with my friends. That's what I want to do. But, somebody had asked me, they were like, well, would you date a girl? And I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, I probably could.
Yeah.
I've tried, And then one day I was like, oh. Okay, yep, nope, yep.
Yeah.
This feels way better.
Yeah.
I probably had about 5 boyfriends. And all of them, like her, I was like, this just doesn't, after like 6 months, I'm like,
It just doesn't feel right.
no.
It gets to that point. It just doesn't feel right.
I mean, and the thing is like most of my relationships with the guys were at least 6 months. At least. One of them was like a year, a little over a year, something like that. And it was, just went along with it. And then finally I was like, I don't want to date you anymore. No, thank you.
They're boring. No.
Yeah, they're boring.
How would you define coming out?
How would I define
So
that?
it could be to yourself, to other gay people, to straight people. What influenced you coming out?
What influenced us to come out?
I didn't really have a choice.
That's true. You didn't.
It was done for me. I would say, I'm trying to remember what I put when everybody was posting their like national coming out stories on Facebook. I told about how it had happened for me, and it was more of like, I want people to do it when they feel ready. If they know that there's a good possibility, more than like a 50% chance of it not going the way they want it to, then build up the support system first.
Yeah.
If you've got aunts and uncles and cousins and friends that are super supportive, you know that they're not gonna like disown you, but you have a pretty good feeling it might happen with your parents, at least for a little bit. Make sure you've got
somewhere to go.
Yes, you've got, because I always just want people to be safe. It always breaks my heart when you hear those stories where, kids come out and the parents just disown them and do this and do this and kick them out or something like that. And it's just heartbreaking because you're like, why?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. So that would be mine, is if when you're ready, just make sure you've got that support system around in case the one person or two people that you tell it doesn't go the way you think so, or think it would.
Yeah.
We were both lucky.
I mean, personally, I was just done lying to myself, lying to, like, if everybody knew, it would be more like my dad telling me that he knew. It's like, well, then why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just tell me? Because that's not his decision to make, that's mine. You know what I mean? So I was just done lying to myself. I was done being scared, and I tell you what, it was the best weight lifted off my shoulder. Oh my gosh, like.
One of my other really good friends came out to me probably 6 months before my first girlfriend. And he told me he came home from Florida, and he was like, we call each other Bubby. Yeah. And he's like,
Bubby?
Bubby. He's like, Bubby, I've got something to tell you. I'm like, all right. I have a boyfriend. All right, we still getting ice cream? And he's like, this doesn't shock you? I was like,
No.
Can we go
At
get
least
ice
with
cream
the
now?
boys, it's easy to. It's like it's no surprise. Like a lot of the guys, you can tell, like their mannerisms. Their
Yeah. I got a
anything.
nose ring, and I chopped off all my hair to donate it. My older sister was in for my younger sister's high school graduation, and I was like, hey, I got something to tell you. She's like, are you gonna tell me you're a lesbian? I'm like, no. And this was even before I even met my girlfriend at the time. I was like, no. Why would you think that? And it was August. It was like 3 months before. I'm like, where did that even come from?
Because you chopped hair off. I got the
did.
same thing when I chopped all my hair.
Yep.
I actually got my senior pictures done, and then 2 hours after, chopped all my hair off. It was
my
like
God.
spiky. It was all over the place. I even put it in blonde. And I was just like, this is awesome. I was just so done with long hair because it was super long. And my dad's like, cut your hair off. You're paying for your own senior pictures. So I waited
I did
till
mine
2 hours
actually to
after.
donate it because I was sick and tired of having long hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what everyone thought. And I was like, why does everyone think that? And a couple months later after that, it was, Well,
That's what it is.
Did you guys lose any family or friends or anything like that when you came out?
No, not that I can think of. I mean, I've had a few guys kind of not happy because I had some guy friends that are some of my best friends still. They just stopped talking because they figured I was going to be like there forever, and I wasn't. I'm sorry. Like, it was not going to happen. We all hung out together all the time, meshed well together all the time, and one of them still talks to me to this day. The other one I haven't chatted with in almost a year now. So they just kind of worked their way on because their families even thought we were like, we were all going to be together forever. No, I said, sorry. But no, not really like disowned or lost friends. I went to a very open and fun high school. Everybody was so super open and super awesome about everything. It didn't matter who you are. Like the preps, you know how you categorize preps, and then you had the girls that were like the makeup wearers. Everybody talked to everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, you had your close knit of friends, like but they had cliques. I didn't. It was never a clique thing where I went to high school, which was nice. Everybody talked to everybody, so it didn't matter what you identified as. If you were one of those goth kids, I'll sit next to you and chat with you. That's not a big deal to me. I just might not like all black like you do. Enjoy that, but it was just never. Yeah,
black like your soul.
definitely never lost friends or.
No, I didn't lose any friends. I did have a couple, same thing, guy friends who were like, wait, what? Really? And I'm like, do you think you have a chance? No.
Yeah, it was easier, definitely easier. Nothing crazy on this end. It's been a very smooth ride, if you will, for sure.